This podcast contains discussions of coercive control, emotional abuse, grief, and post-separation abuse. Listener discretion is advised. Hi, and welcome back to After the Quiet. This is episode 99. One of the greatest fears I had before leaving my marriage wasn't losing my house, or my finances, or even my routines. It was losing his family. For 24 years, they had become my family too. I had celebrated birthdays with them, Christmases, Thanksgivings, baby showers, weddings, funerals. I had watched children grow up. They had watched mine grow up. When you've spent nearly half of your life with the same extended family, you don't simply stop loving them because your marriage ends. And if you've listened to earlier episodes, you'll know that one of the threats I heard over and over again was, if you leave me, everyone will turn against you. For a long time, I believed that. Then, just before COVID, something happened that completely changed how I saw things. I got a phone call from one of his cousins. She wasn't just his cousin. She was my best friend. She told me that his grandfather wasn't doing well. If you've never met someone who instantly captures a child's heart, it's hard to explain what this man meant to my daughter. For 3 years, his daughter had babysat my daughter. Every morning, this sweet elderly man would slowly make his way downstairs for breakfast, and every morning, my little girl would meet him at the stairs. She'd reached out her tiny hand and help him the rest of the way down. Then they'd sit together at the kitchen table and eat breakfast. There was a huge language barrier between them, but somehow, they understood each other perfectly. He made up silly little games for her and her cousin. He laughed with them. He adored them. And every chance he got, he tried to sneak $1 into her little pocket. It became their little secret. Watching the two of them together was one of those simple joys that stays with you forever. So when I got the call that he wasn't doing well, I didn't hesitate. I went to see him. I'll admit, I was nervous. Outside of my best friend, I hadn't seen most of his family since the separation. Almost a year had passed. I knew stories had been told about me. Wild stories, false stories. I had no idea how I would be received. I walked into that room where family had gathered around his bedside, and something happened that I wasn't expecting. One by one, they hugged me. No hesitation, no awkwardness, no cold shoulders, just hugs. It felt like coming home. In the middle of one of the saddest days, I realized something beautiful. Relationships built over 24 years don't disappear because someone tells lies. People who truly know you often know your character long before someone tries to rewrite it. Not long after that visit, grandfather passed away. The funeral arrangements were made. There was never any question in my mind. My children would be there, and so would I. The visitation happened during one of those parenting scheduled evenings when the other parent had dinner with the children. It was my parenting week. I picked the kids up early from school. We went to the funeral home together. I assumed their dad would meet us there and take them for dinner afterward. When we arrived, he wasn't there. The children visited with family. We shared stories. People hugged them. Time passed. Eventually, just before the afternoon visitation ended, he finally arrived. He took the kids. I simply asked one thing. Since they would be staying with him that evening, could he please send them back with appropriate clothes for the funeral mass the next morning? Most of their dress clothes were at his house by then. As I got into my car, my phone buzzed. The text said, "It's your week. It's your responsibility to dress them for the funeral." I remember the panic that washed over me. How was I supposed to dress 3 children for a funeral with almost none of their clothes? I drove from store to store trying to find something appropriate. Not because I wanted perfect outfits, but because I wanted them to be able to honor someone they had loved. That evening, after visitation ended, I returned to the funeral home. I waited for him to bring the children back. The next morning, I took all 3 kids to the funeral mass. Something else happened that day that stayed with me. He didn't come over to the children. He didn't sit with them. He didn't check on them. After Mass, the family was invited to continue to the cemetery, and then to the church hall for refreshments. But my kids were tired, emotionally drained. They wanted to go home, so we quietly left. We got into my car, and as we pulled into the funeral procession, we heard music. Loud music, blasting from another vehicle. It didn't take long to realize where it was coming from. It was him, driving through his own grandfather's funeral procession with the music turned up. I couldn't understand it. At the time, I didn't know what the rest of the family thought. About a week later, he took the kids away on vacation. Around the same time, the family had a celebration of life. His cousin called me. She insisted I come. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to intrude. She reassured me. Everyone wants you here. So I went. That evening changed something in me. As family members shared stories, I learned things I hadn't known. I learned that he had refused to be a pallbearer for his grandfather, the only male grandchild who wouldn't do it. I learned that everyone had noticed the loud music during the funeral procession. Many of them were shocked, embarrassed, heartbroken. And then, one of his aunts turned toward me. She looked me straight in the eyes and quietly asked, "What took you so long to leave him?" I don't think she'll ever know what those words meant to me, because in that moment, I realized something I had feared losing for years. I hadn't lost this family. They had watched. They had noticed. Maybe not everything, but enough. Enough to understand that my leaving wasn't the betrayal I had always feared it would be. That afternoon wasn't just a celebration of one extraordinary man's life. For me, it was also the beginning of healing another grief. The grief of believing I had lost an entire family. 7 years later, they're still part of my life. They still invite me. They still check in. They still celebrate my victories. They still remember the 24 years we all shared together. Sometimes people think that leaving in an abusive relationship means losing everything. Sometimes you do lose a great deal. But sometimes, the people who truly love you find their way back to you. Thank you for listening to After the Quiet. If this episode resonated with you, please follow the podcast and share it with someone who may need to hear it. Because abuse often tells us we'll lose everyone if we leave. Sometimes that's the biggest lie of all.